So today we are going to be stringing the dragons, Andarna and Tairn. I don't know if that's how you say his name because everyone says it different, but there you go. You know who I'm talking about. All right, so first things first, grab your title cover sheet that comes with your kit, your sign, your string, and a pair of scissors. Now for this one, it's easier to show you. There's a little bit of layers where we want to do all of Tairn the black string first so that Andarna looks like she's in front. So we're going to go ahead and start. Just grab one of your black strings. And I'm going to show you the steps up here real quick. And these are the same steps that you use throughout the entire piece, just by the section colors. So go ahead and unwrap one of your black sections of string. Okay. The first thing you're going to do is tie a knot anywhere in the black section. So I like to make a loop in the air. Kind of do that, or I wrap it around and then I flip it through like that. So I have like a little lasso, and then I take the lasso and choose kind of any nail. Let's go over here. And I trap it and pull. So you pull it tight, and you're going to do that one more time. You can just tie it, and this time you don't need to trap it, you just kind of pull it around. Mainly you don't want it to come undone when you're pulling on it, because that would be sad and you'd have to start over. Then with this tail, I like to trim it so it's a little shorter. Try and tie it so you don't have a crazy long tail, because then you'll have less string for the rest of it. So the first thing I want to show you, and this is easier to see without a lot of string, but it's technically, I do this kind of at the end, kind of in between. I like to do, well, you'll see. I'm getting ahead of myself. So first things first, you tie a knot. And then from here, hold the string tight, and I'm going to go ahead and outline the section. But for this, I'm just going to do a small section rather than going all the way around like I normally would. You're just going to wrap around and around and around and around. And why I like to have this next to you is because each nail will be marked on here, so you can count nails if you need to know. So when we get into this middle section where it's kind of muddier, it'll be easier when you have to count nails. So like going down here, and then kind of bring it on top sometimes. So we've done this little curve right here, and now we're gonna go in. So it's 1, 2, 3. So you go 1, 2, 3, and then it goes down. So this is your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. So it just kind of helps counting the nails to go up when it's crazier. Over here, you're not gonna need to. It's just not needed. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and let's just keep tracing this since we're here. So now we're at the bottom. Now we're gonna go over to this one and go 1, 2, 3. We're gonna go over 1, 2, 3. And again, worst case, it's just string so you can unravel it and do it again if it's not in the right spot. Plus, no one's gonna see this, so in the end, as long as they look dragony, then it looks cool too. All right, so then from there, got to the 1, 2, 3, this blip, and then we're gonna go back on the next line, 1, 2, 3 again. So you go over, and then 1, 2, 3. And then we're just gonna go a little bit. So 1, 2, 3, and then over again, 1, 2. Again, this doesn't have to be perfect. We're just trying to make our little basic outline. All right, we're gonna keep going over 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're gonna go back up and in and go around our little curve. And again, worst case, the gold is gonna be on top too, so just makes it easier when you get to the gold. But you can cover up any little glitches if you want. Now, one thing we can do, let me see if I can get myself back up. The right section there to show you. So that's how you outline the different areas that you want to work on. And then I want to show you how to do the border. So the border you can do in the beginning or at the end. I like to do a mix of both in the beginning and then a little bit at the end. So what you're going to do is you do this pass, this is number 1, around and around and around and around. And then you can go crisscross. So side to side, wrapping around, and so it'll look like a diagonal line in between each nail set. You just kind of do that, and you do it all the way around here and here and here. But then after you do 1 and then 2, you're going to do a third pass, which is another crisscross, but going the opposite way. So they've been going this way and that way, this way and that way. So now you're going to go backwards and just crisscross. So now it will look like an X in between each of your set of nails instead of just a diagonal line. The reason for this is it just makes it a thicker line and a thicker border and makes it kind of pop a little bit more, which is why I do it. But again, it's personal preference, and it's not, you know, it's still gonna look great even if you don't do this. And you can do this at the end too to sort of like crisp up your lines. Then the fourth thing I do, so now we've had 3 steps, around and around, crisscross, and then number 3, crisscross again. And then the fourth, you're gonna do what you did in the beginning, but on the inner side, just wrapping. Just wrap around, around, and around. And you can do a few at a time. And that's all it is. So it's technically a figure 8 in between each set of nails. So it's just around and back, and then diagonal and diagonal. So you can do that as a way, but usually you end up doing, you know, 5 instead of that. So I'll just kind of do a mix of crisscross, crisscross all the way around like that. And it just starts to outline your shape and really helps make it a sharp line, which I think looks nice. And yours aren't gonna be like that. Okay, so now we'll finish the outline later. Once you get the whole outline done, you're going to fill in your center. And this part is super fun because there's not really any rules. You are just gonna go back and forth any direction that you wanna go. The only thing is you have to stay inside your outline. That's the only rule. But you hold it tight, you can go make a pattern or so if you want. Usually I'll kind of start going like this all the way until I reach like a dead end, and then I'll change the direction. Remember, hold it tight or else it'll pop off and you'll just have to do it again. But this is all you do. And then you keep going. Try and do it sort of evenly so you don't end up with one section with a super thick color, and then if you run out of string, where one is like kind of empty. Plus you have little sections down here. But that's all it is. You're just gonna wrap around and around until it is a solid filled in thing like you're coloring. That's it. So I'm gonna speed it up for this bit, and then we'll work on this too. So I wanted to show you what it looks like for this part with his neck. It's just a little different. So it's the same border steps and the figure 8, and we're just gonna do that because we're not doing any of this. It's just kind of going back and forth and outlining, I'm not sure what you would call it. It's not his spine. Can't think of the word. This part right here on his neck. But you can go up and down, and then it just goes over, over, over with your figure 8. So we're gonna go up, and then we're gonna go over and back to that same nail, and then crisscross, crisscross. And you can use the other hand to kind of like guide it. Hopefully that's easy to see. Crisscross, crisscross, that. And we'll do this line after, so don't worry about it. Okay, so crisscross, just going all the way up his neck, I guess. And then when you get to the top ahead, you can kind of go back to what you were doing. But just wanted to pop in and make sure that that was easy to understand. And again, if you ever have any questions with these, please let me know. I'm always trying to improve how I explain things. And so it's always great to get feedback to see what part is still confusing, so I can make sure I go over it a little better or in a different way. Especially when I do things the same way again and again, it's like, oh, it's easy to me because I've done it and it's my way. But we're just gonna do our little outline as we're here. So yeah, sometimes I use the other hand, and the other one like this, and flip back and forth. And you can do sections at a time. It's really nice because it's just forgiving. It's not like you're gonna get in trouble that I didn't do it exactly her way. It's like, no, make it your own. It's just fun. It's like coloring. You can shade it however you want and everyone's happy. And it's just string. We don't have to worry. So I know with painting, I always freak out because I'm like, oh, if I mess up, I can't fix it. It's like, no, with this you can. So there's really like no stress. We're just gonna go back and forth, and then I'll fill in the rest of his head probably before going on, but we'll see. Sometimes I say it and then I end up doing a different section. Yay. We'll keep going. Go. Keep going around. And then you can also, if you want, you can do a couple passes on this section if you want, or you can just leave it at one, either way. If you want to go over it again or just the outside part and make it pop a little bit more. Again, it's up to you. And we'll just go in here and fill in the rest of him. Let me get to the pretty gold string for Andarna. But here we go. Once you get to the end of your first section of black string, go ahead and make sure you leave yourself enough room to tie another double knot, just like we did in the very beginning. So you can kind of do this, and I know I have this much left, so just to do this and do some more, it's plenty of string. So go ahead and choose wherever it seems like a little easier. I usually try and do it when I can pull down on it easy, and just hold it tight while you make your loop. And then lasso it around whatever nail you choose, trap it and pull. And then you're just gonna do that one more time on the same nail. Sometimes I even do it like 3 times just because I'm paranoid. And then we just do this again, because why not? And then just don't pull it crazy tight where you pull the nail out, but pull it tight. And then see, I have this much left, so I could technically have done a little bit more, but you know, it's fine. Go ahead and trim. Now this is trash. And then go ahead and I use my fingers and the open end of my scissors carefully to sort of just tuck it into the design. If you have sharper than kid scissors, please be careful to not cut the thread of your design though. That's the only warning. You can always use something else like a crochet needle or heck, even a pencil. Okay? So I can either use this where you're gonna just tie a knot and you can keep filling in. So I'll just kind of check it and see. I might like it how it is. We'll see. And then go ahead and finish any of that. But what I'm gonna do right now is I'm just gonna tie a knot and do this tail section. You could technically cross over like that with your string and just kind of keep it that way and have the gold cover it. But I'm I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna might as well tie a different knot since I'm starting one anyways. So you can kind of choose, kind of overlap it and see. You can kind of see the outline right here because you see her wing is this big chunk all the way down to this nail right here. And then it goes in, and that's her wing. And this is empty space that will not get filled in with black or gold. So I'm gonna choose one down here, and we're just gonna go from there. Actually, yeah, we'll just do that. Doesn't even matter. We'll just make our little lasso, tie a knot. Okay, check it. Okay, it's nice and tight. Trim off our extra. And so we are about right here. So I'm just gonna work my way down and try and get the end to be angled in, because if I go like this, I can start, but then it's kind of sticking out ugly. So I always try and choose whatever direction to keep it on the inside. And then you're just gonna kind of weave it around up and down for the pokey. And this one is this one right here. And this is his tail. And for this little blip, you're just gonna do that figure 8 and keep going around, and up. And then we can kind of just go past and ignore her like that. So then we're gonna go down here. Doesn't matter too much because you do that. For yours, sometimes you gotta pull the nails, okay? And then you can either choose to go down this way or kind of go up, whatever feels fun. We'll get it angled down. Here, let's finish this little blip right here. It will get a little confusing, but we got it. We'll go down here. And then this is our border. I'm going to start with my crisscross. The first crisscross. And we already did that one, so we'll skip it. Go up. We'll just go up this way. Because as you already know, it doesn't really matter. Looks good either way. All right, we'll go backwards. The other side. Ooh, he looks good, and we're almost ready for gold. And gold, you're gonna be way easy because the hard part is done. It's so pretty when the gold starts to pop and get on it. It's like, yay, there she is. Oops. And it's okay to go multiple times over the same nail, as you probably know already. We're just coloring. Kind of change the direction if you need to. Sometimes I have to switch hands to get the direction to change. I like throwing the figure 8s in. Kind of mixes it up and helps fill in some random spots that otherwise wouldn't be filled. We're just gonna keep going and going. And his tail's almost done. So once it's filled in, I'm gonna go ahead and cut and tie a knot just for this whole section, just so it's all secure and checked off the list. Okay, so we have this part. Trim. Sometimes it doesn't want to easily tuck in because the nails are right there. And the glare is kind of funky for me right now. Come on. There we go. Okay, so again, if this part is done, if you like how it turned out, then you are done with this. If you need to, if you were like me where I ran out of string up here, you can definitely use this. There's plenty of string. I try and throw in extra in case you want it even thicker, because remember, if you read the little tips and tricks sheet that comes with your kit, you can always push down your layers of string so you can have even more room to add more. So I'll show you what she means. So you can push all of this string farther down to the nail where it kind of meets the wood. So you do have space where you can just kind of push, 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 push. But I'm gonna go ahead and do the gold. Wanted to say a couple things because it'll be just a kind of fast thing now that you know how. Probably don't want to be bored with me doing it. So just pay attention to the empty space. So right here, you will just have gray wood showing between. Same with right here. And then when you're doing, again, just like tearing up here on his neck, the spikies are the same way as this. And down here, her tail is fancy and it's just like his spine up here, not his spine. I don't know why I keep saying spine, because it's, maybe it is his spine. I'm gonna have to look it up. So right here for his neck is the same as her tail as well. And just, you know, follow the outline and you will be good to go. And it is gonna be so fun, and good luck.